K-Nation is a football show.
It can be tough some days.
We have disruptive guys up front.
And a basketball show.
In more ways than one.
We continue to show how deep we are.
K-Nation is a soccer show.
And a volleyball show.
And a softball show, even in the fall.
Grinding in the weight room and then coming out of practice, just grinding.
The ins and outs of all things Jayhawk and Wildcat sports.
K-Nation is a football show, but it is so much more.
You can call it an everything show, and K-Nation starts now.
K-Nation, sponsored by 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
It's another big week for K-Nation with another big guest. Lance Leipold talks the program's turnaround and learning from his mistakes in an exclusive interview.
Plus, as K-State comes off the bye week, are the Cats in a position to get back to Arlington for that Big 12 title game? Mason Both of On3 Sports joins us in studio to break down that and much more.
And it was a big week for basketball, a commitment for the Jayhawks, and an extension for Coach Tang. We've got the details on those stories and more. And as always, welcome to K-Nation. I'm Lainey Gerber.
And I'm Glenn Kinley. No wins this week. K-State had the bye week, and if we're going to be honest, just not many teams are probably going to win in Austin, Texas this year.
Yeah.
Tough matchup for the Jayhawks.
Definitely. They get the number 3 team in the country on the road. That's tough in and of itself. And just before kickoff, back tightness again for Jalen Daniels. He's out for the game. Jason Bean gets the start. Hawks hang with the horns for a bit. Wild play. Bean gets a big first down here. But then there's a fumble. Daniel Highshaw, right place at the right time, picks up the ball and still gets that touchdown. That was what happened to make the score 13-7 Texas in the second quarter. Simply put, though, this Texas team is great, one of
really
the
good.
best in the country, literally one of the best 3 teams in the country. The loss is more Texas is good than it is that KU is not good.
For sure.
Without QB1 out there, a draining loss after the excitement heading into the weekend for sure.
They're down, they're frustrated, they're disappointed that an opportunity like this played out this way, and they should. And you know, but like I told them, is that we're going to find a way. We're not going to let it fester. We're going to get back on Monday, back to meetings and film on Monday and own what we see.
How much of a difference would Jalen being healthy?
I'm not going to speculate that. That's not fair to it's not fair to Jason. It's not fair to Jalen. And it's not, honestly, it's not fair to this football team. So I won't speculate.
It's just really tough, but it's just sometimes how life goes, and you just got to be ready to execute. And a couple plays I'd like to have back today, but got a week this week to prepare for the next game.
The Longhorns dominate late, 661 yards of offense to 260. The time of possession, 40 minutes for Texas, 20 for KU. The Jayhawks fall out of the top 25. They do return home on Saturday. Lance Leipold talks about this program later on in the show.
It's just a tough loss for the Jayhawks. It would have been one thing if they went there and just got beat up the whole game, but it felt like they were in it the whole way and kind of had opportunities to take control and just couldn't take advantage.
Definitely, especially without Jalen Daniels, when it already, for a lot of people, felt like the game might be over before it started.
And it's different if you know all week Jalen can't play, but they found out right before the game. That's really tough.
Yeah.
All right, K-State fans may have caught up on that Jayhawk game or perhaps other college football over the weekend. It was a bye week, and it came at a really good time for the Wildcats and Chris Kleiman. He's usually not a fan of that early bye week, but it helped because they had some early injuries that gives some guys who are going to be stepping up time to get into that role. And we're hoping to see and should see a healthy Will Howard, R.J. Garcia, Keegan Johnson, and really it sounds like maybe anyone other than Daniel Green. He's out for the year. Internal evaluation and internal improvement seems to be the theme for the Cats on the weekend off.
For us, a bye week is continuing to develop guys. That's our number one thing. We're going to always be a developmental program. That's why you see a guy like Des Purnell playing at a high level like he is now, is because he took advantage of those situations. Carver Willis took advantage of those situations. DJ Giddens took advantage of those situations where you weren't the main guy and you got a chance to practice, not off of a scouting report, but K-State versus K-State. That's the number one thing for us in an open week. But you also got to do what we talked about when we first started here, was how do you keep Austin Moore, Cooper Beebe, those type of guys fresh.
And it will be a Friday Night Lights matchup at Oklahoma State next week. That's a Friday start at 6 p.m. We'll talk more about that with Mason Both in studio later.
Yeah, some other fall sports are going on. Volleyball is in full swing, and it was a good week for the number 19 Jayhawks, hosting number 20 Houston. It's a tight 3-2 win on Friday, but a 3-0 sweep on Saturday.
Wow.
Both games in front of sold-out home crowds. Reagan Cooper hit 600 with 15 kills in the sweep. Cameron Turner impresses again.
She's always good.
Yeah, 32 assists and 18 digs for her Saturday. The Hawks are hot, 12-2, 3-1 in the Big 12, with a date at number 10 Texas coming up.
All right, Ray Bouchard
also reigning national
Ray
champions.
Bouchard says they like to win in the top 3 of the conference. They might be looking at top 1. All right,
Yeah.
that Texas game will be a big one. Let's talk Wildcat volleyball. Good week, maybe not a great week, but a good week. A road sweep of West Virginia on Wednesday, then a tough one. 3-1 loss to Cincinnati on Saturday. It was a packed crowd in Manhattan. The football team didn't play. They got out there and support the volleyball team. We're sensing a theme there. They're always in Morgan Family Arena.
Yeah.
Aaliyah Carter led the team with 17 kills. Mackenzie Morris, 16 digs. That was in the match against Cincinnati. K-State now 8-5, 2-2 in the Big 12. And they got a ranked matchup with Baylor this Thursday and Friday.
All these Big 12 volleyball teams are ranked.
Yeah, a
It's
lot of
hard.
good teams, yep.
Let's hit the pitch, shall we? Cats soccer has seen better weeks on the road at TCU. They get a 2-0 loss. Earlier today, hosting Baylor, they also get a 2-0 loss. K-State is 2-8-3, 0-4-1 in the Big 12. 3 more home matches. Still time to get to Bucer Family Park, guys.
KU soccer at Rock Chalk Park. Nothing in the tie versus Baylor, and that could be big for the standings in the conference. Then a 2-1 close loss to number 21 Texas today. The Hawks are 3-4-6 overall, 0-3-2 in the conference. 3 home games left for Kansas, including, of course, the Sunflower Showdown.
Ooh. Well, the people of Manhattan are going to get some more Tang time. We reported in July that a contract extension was in the works. Now it's official.
How about it? Yeah, it's a new 7-year contract for Jerome Tang, keeping him with K-State through 2029-2030. And he'll make $3 million this upcoming season with a $100,000 raise each year, and also some retainment bonuses worked in there for future years. Of course, it comes after Laney what was a really, really good first season leading the Cats.
Definitely. And good news for Jayhawk fans as well. There's a new commitment. LeBaron Philon was Mr. Basketball and the Gatorade Player of the Year in Alabama last year. He previously committed to Auburn, but now he's going to be a Jayhawk. And Philon joins the #1 2024 center in America, that's Flory Badunga, as KU's second commit in this class.
Tonight we've got an update for you on a situation we told you about 2 weeks ago. Arterio Morris has now been dismissed from the KU men's basketball team. That's after he was arrested on Friday for charges of rape. Here's a statement from head coach Bill Self. He says the team suspended Morris when it first learned about the allegations, and then when he was arrested and charged, they removed him from the team. Morris was a transfer from Texas, and last month he also pled no contest to a different assault case from June of 2022.
Well, we've got more K-Nation still ahead, including that Lance Leipold interview. He talks about how past coaching mistakes prepared him for a turnaround in Lawrence. But first, basketball season is just around the corner. Jeff Mitty tells us why this team could be his best since arriving in Manhattan. That's right after the break.
Searching for a career in advanced manufacturing or industrial automation? Manhattan Area Technical College's new Industrial Engineering Technology applies science and engineering through theory and hands-on application of skills. Learn more at manhattantech.edu.
Because McCray Plaza has been family-owned and operated since 1975, we are able to make decisions that keep you independent and in the game.
Get a game plan and join the winning team at McCray Plaza.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on 5 of our favorite Toyotas. Learn more at your Toyota dealer or get your trade-in value today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Meaningful relationships built upon trust is a founding principle of the Trust Company. We help individuals and businesses create tailored financial plans and diversified investment strategies that adapt over time to your unique needs. Because we are independent, we can offer flexibility and creativity that many advisors and trust departments can't. If you aren't sure where to start or you're looking to make a fresh start, Contact us today for a free consultation.
Manhattan Area Technical College will help you build a foundation for your college career, like transferable credits offered in your high school, earning your high school diploma through GED completion on our campus. Break through to a new career. Manhattan Tech, providing higher education.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Fall ball is here, and that's softball, of course. Kansas softball specifically.
The Jayhawks one of the better stories last year. They had a really good story. First Big 12 tourney win since 2007. Most wins in a season since 2016. They were fun to watch.
Yeah, and that team, of course, wants to carry the momentum, and the Jayhawks are doing so this fall. They don't count towards the tally, of course, but KU is racking up the wins, most notably 2 wins against Wichita State. Head coach Jennifer McFalls got a contract extension for the Jump last season, and she seems happy as ever.
Even the fall games are important for them to just gain confidence and just sort of start to trust themselves and know what it's like to be able to contribute as a Jayhawk. They're long days. It's a bit of a grind right now. The fall's tough.
It's also good for our team because we can build that team chemistry every day since we're out here and just build as a team.
And that's Washburn Rural's own Olivia Bruno, of course. 4 more matchups in October before the season starts in February.
And those wins against Wichita State, too. They got one in the regular season last year. You beat them in fall ball. They have to help with recruiting in the state.
Definitely. I could see that for sure. Well, football, volleyball, soccer, men's basketball, softball. Let's talk women's basketball now. I think that's next on the list.
We got to round out the full slate here.
Yeah, it's one of the highest anticipated seasons in Manhattan probably ever for K-State women's basketball.
They're going to have what we think will be a really good squad. Serena Sundell, the Glenn twins, Gabby Gregory, and by the way, All-American Aoki, who scored 61 points in the game. And besides all the star power, well, head coach Jeff Mitty says this might be the deepest roster he's had. He still doesn't know who all will play. It's a good problem to have. The Cats could run as deep as 11 or maybe even 12 players. Who knows? A lot of competition for playing time, but because of the experience of some of those players, he says he wants them to trust their abilities more. Here's Coach Mitty.
Do I think this can be the best team? I do. But I want their focus to be, as it should be, on just getting better every day, working hard, competing like crazy. It's very competitive out there. But I'm excited about this team because I see glimpses of really good stuff.
What we can do with Yoki on the court and what we can do without Yoki on the court. And for our opponents, that's going to be hard to guard, and they're going to have to be very aware of just who's in the game. And with all these different rotations that we're playing with right now, it's just fun basketball.
And the Cats start the season with an exhibition match against Pittsburgh State. That's on November 3rd. All right, more K-Nation still to come. Mason Vogt joins us in the studio to talk a little Wildcat football.
And Lance Leipold gives us just a little sneak peek into the secret recipe that makes KU's offense so good. That's it next.
2023 Country Stampede was a blast, and now is the time to renew tickets and camping for Country Stampede 2024. Call 785-539-2222. That's 785-539-2222. More Country Stampede announcements coming soon.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sports!
We have everything
that you're looking for
at Play It Again Sports.
New and used sports and fitness equipment with used up to 50% off retail.
You can create your own discount by trading in and trading up. Sell us your gear and get cash on the spot, or even get store credit.
Play It Again Sports has something for every athlete. All seasons, all sports, on any budget. We're open every day in the Fairlawn Plaza Mall.
Game on! Hi, this is voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you will be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. For 24/7 non-judgmental support, just call, text, or chat 988.
2023 Country Stampede was a blast, and now is the time to renew tickets and camping for Country Stampede 2024. Call 785-539-2222. That's 785-539-2222. More Country Stampede announcements coming soon.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Just a few years ago, KU football fans would have been happy with 4 wins all year, let alone back-to-back 4-0 starts.
Yeah, I caught up with the mastermind himself, Lance Leipold, right before the team hit that road to Austin for a one-on-one interview about it all. This program and its fans are kind of just getting used to having goals again and having expectations and having that be okay. What kind of are your goals and expectations as we enter this second third of the season?
Well, I think it's important for us, Lainey, to continue with the same message even when we got here, and that is to continue to get better each and every day. And when you do the small things correctly, big things will happen. And if we change that approach, I think we're sending a mixed message, wins versus losses, and how we go about things. So it's still the same approach as really when we arrived. I think what happens is now we got a little bit more attention that goes along with it, so we've got to have better focus than ever.
And do you have kind of small, attainable goals that you guys like to set throughout the season, or is it always just try to win this week, look good this week, make a bowl game?
Well, I think bowl eligibility is kind of the first spot we want to be in, and now as we continue, I think after last year's season, you want to keep making climbs, and we want to be a program that's going to be in a position on a yearly basis and have the opportunity to talk about conference championships and see where it goes. But if you get too far ahead of yourself and talk about those things without the daily necessary things that you have to do to get better to prepare for that particular game, I think you know, at least in my career, I think you fall short of those expectations when you look at it any way different.
Mm-hmm. After the Nevada game, you said, sure, we didn't win by as much as maybe we were expected to, but there were a lot of teams that were expected to win outright and didn't. What kind of prompted that message from you?
Well, I think, again, wins haven't been easy here, and sometimes it's a good reminder that we can be a good team, but we can have some battles and end up coming up on the short if we don't play to our fullest potential or somebody plays really well on the other side of the ball. But at the same time, we haven't won enough in our time here or over the past decade to not look at wins as still a positive. And I probably had the mistake early in my career of sometimes almost treating some wins like losses, and I think there's a better balance of that. And you can still grab their attention, address what needs to be done. And I say that was a particular Saturday where, whether it be in our conference or nationally, there were some upsets that were probably never thought were ever going to happen, and we did enough to prevent that and when we went on the road.
And the biggest question mark surrounding this program now is not, can this team win? It's how the heck did Lance Leipold turn this team around as fast as he did? So what is it that's unique about your coaching style that allowed this to happen? Because not anyone could have just come into this program and done what you did.
Well, I'd like to correct you, if you don't mind, is that Lance Leipold did not turn this program around. Lance Leipold's fortunate to be the head coach. It takes a staff, it takes support from administration, and it takes the work of the players. Now, holistically in our culture and what we're doing, it's some of the things our players had asked for through structure, accountability, discipline, and expectations, not just on the field and in practice and game day, but in everything that they're doing, whether it be in the weight room, nutritionally, academically, everything that encompasses their life while on a college campus. And our guys have done a great job of really embracing that. And I think that's not a secret sauce, that's not anything like that. And I don't know if that's the fullest reason, but I think it's one of the bigger reasons why we've been able to take a jump as quickly as we have.
Mm-hmm. And when you have a special talent, a special player, do you feel pressure on yourself to make sure that you're fostering their talent to the best that it could be?
Well, the thing is, if I asked that in the room, I'd have 100 and some hands go up, because they're all have special talents in and of their own right. But I know what you're saying. To us, it's a balance of whether it be an offensive player getting them touches and showing those abilities, keeping them healthy. Through the duration, balancing. One of the things I think, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that Andy Koldnicki and our offensive staff do so well is we spread the ball out. So even like in our running back, especially in Devin Neal's case, is that people just don't stack the box and get ready to stop him as much as they used to, because we're spreading it to a lot of different players. So that does help them. So we've also gone through and explained that to guys, is that our diversity and spreading the ball out and the multiple things that we do offensively is a benefit to all.
Yeah, and I'm curious, kind of thinking about the team a little more now, are there any relationships on the field that you've just really seen get stronger so far this season?
Well, I think the unique one early in the year, of course, is Jason Bean and Jalen Daniels and the support for one another, which is very unique sometimes and difficult in college football today. Everybody wants to play, everybody wants to be the starting quarterback. I know our secondary is very close as well and have been, many of them living together for multiple years. That's always good. I think our defensive linemen, especially the defensive tackle group, I think Jim Panagos has done a great job of getting that group bonded really well. So I really like this team. I really like the makeup of it, and there's a lot of times in coaching, you know, there's sometimes it's hard. You've got some unique personalities and everybody's there, but I really like, that's probably the other part of our culture is that I really like the makeup of our locker room.
Yeah, all right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was hoping he was going to have some 1-2 punch as to how he was able to do all of this, but it's just listening to your players, apparently.
Yeah, sometimes you got to keep it simple, right?
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. That's what they say. Well, coming up after the break on K-Nation, it is a trap game for K-State, or is it not? Mason Voth says no way. Why? That's up next.
Jefferson's is the perfect spot to watch the game. Come try our new Loaded Macs, or pull up a seat at the bar and match our cold draft beer with our new Mac Burger. Find us at 29th and Wanamaker in Topeka or online at jeffersons.com.
Memories are created every day, and those memories can make a house feel like a home. The children's height changing over the years, the hundreds of backyard barbecues, and much to Mom's dismay, that time Petey unrolled an entire roll of toilet paper. Any agent can help sell a home, but a realtor can do more. Find homes for sale in Northeast Kansas and a Sunflower Association Realtor member that's right for you at sunflowerrealtors.com.
Your independence is important to you, and it's important to our team. You've been training for this moment all year. It's time to get off the bench.
Come join the McCrite team, for it's your time to shine.
How powerful is Cox Internet?
Hey, old friend. Hey, buddy.
So powerful that you can not only reminisce about the good old days.
Let's push these babies like back in the day. I'm right behind you.
But relive them too. Introducing multi-gig download speeds powered by fiber from Cox. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Limited availability in select areas.
Furnish is a boutique furniture and lifestyle store in the heart of downtown Manhattan. We are your local destination for all of those big city brands. Whether you need furniture, home decor, or a unique gift, we have what you're looking for.
Jefferson's is the perfect spot to watch the game. Come try our new Loaded Macs, or pull up a seat at the bar and match our cold draft beer with our new Mac Burger. Find us at 29th and Wanamaker in Topeka or online at jeffersons.com.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Kansas State football off this week, 3-1 into that bye week, hoping to make another shot, another run at that Big 12 title game, Lane. We got the perfect guest for it.
Absolutely. Mason Voth joins us again. New football season, new season of K-Nation. Mason, thanks for being here again.
Thanks for having me. I love getting up here.
Of course, even after the bye week, we don't have a game to talk about, but we do have one to look forward to. K-State is at Oklahoma State for a Friday game. How do you think the Cats kind of use this extra time to prepare for a team that might be playing 3 quarterbacks?
Well, I mean, the 3 quarterbacks thing is very interesting, and it's 3 quarterbacks that none of them are very good. But I think one of the benefits of this is Oklahoma State, they will throw the ball a lot. It's not necessarily what they're good at, though. So this is probably a good tune-up game with the week off and then also the opponent you're facing to be able to get an opportunity to test these guys in the secondary a little bit more. We know that the DBs have probably been the weakest spot on the team so far this year. They're young, inexperienced. You're going to get an opponent and then also a time frame that lends itself to maybe gaining some confidence and being prepared to play, which really the next 2 opponents are good for K-State because Texas Tech is kind of a wounded animal in that regard. And I really think to get kind of your mojo back and play like Big 12 champs, these are probably the 2 best opponents given what K-State needs to do, both offensively and defensively.
And it'll be great to see the guys who were hurt before this bye week have that time off and then have a team where maybe they won't put as much stress on their body competing against them and hopefully get back into the swing of things. Is there someone who you're looking forward to seeing how they look after this bye week?
I think it's probably still like Christian Duffy, just seeing him get more snaps, be integrated more into the offensive line. We saw him a little bit against UCF. Now he's had more time. He can get back out there, heal himself a little bit more. And then defensively, Jake Clifton surprisingly played at linebacker against UCF. Really exciting to watch this week.
Another week of really valuable reps for Austin Romaine and Jake Clifton both. From a K-State fan perspective, are they – to me, they're probably rooting for Oklahoma losses. I mean, everyone is, I feel like, but especially because it kind of feels like Texas isn't going to lose many, if any, conference games, and it feels like K-State and Oklahoma might be competing for that other spot in the title game in Arlington.
Yeah, I think Texas showed a couple of warts this weekend against KU. It's tough to judge what KU was since Jalen Daniels was out.
For sure.
So I think that they are more gettable than what I thought probably even 2 weeks ago,
Right.
but it is still very clear that they're the best team in the league, and it's probably K-State and OU and a little tier between them, and then KU's, I still think, probably the fourth best team when fully healthy.
Yeah, K-State's hoping to get a lot of wins against maybe teams that we thought were going to be really good before the season and then now aren't looking that good.
Yeah, and 8 weeks straight of football now. You know, you get the bye week out of the way early. Still when the Cats probably needed it, but
now you got to lock in.
Yeah, 8 straight weeks of football. Coaching is really going to be adjusting in this period to see how it can handle so much playing time without a break.
Yeah, I think it's weird, you know. The bye week came at the right time this year for K-State. Normally, 4 weeks in the season, this is a terrible time to get a bye. But you do get to have some of those guys get a little healthier. You get a good chance to just kind of learn and focus more on K-State that first week, for especially those guys that are young in the secondary that need to kind of step up. I think in a regular season where injuries aren't as big of a problem as they've been this year for K-State, you probably would rather have the bye after like week 7 or something.
But this year
it makes sense. It worked out well for them, and I'm interested to see if they come out and they prove that it was an advantage for them in how they play against Oklahoma State, and probably for the next couple of weeks against a team like Texas Tech, that they will not have had their bye when K-State goes to Lubbock in a couple weeks.
All right, Mason, thanks so much for your time. On3 Sports, follow him on Twitter, follow him on On3, get this guy's content. He does great work.
Yeah, I mean, yell at me on Twitter if you want. Plenty of people do. I'm sure the KU fans will be after me tonight as well, so yeah.
Maybe the Oklahoma State fans.
Yeah, and the Oklahoma State fans. Sorry,
more
the folks out
K-Nation
there.
comes your way after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Honey, what are you doing?
What? I just fixed the leaky chimney.
Call Certified Fireplace and Chimney. We fix leaky chimneys properly.
Come on home to West Loop and Manhattan's West Side.
Flint Hills Job Corps. Careers begin here.
KS State Bank, convenient banking for over 50 years. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Come see us at Hair Unlimited, Manhattan's family salon. You'll be glad you came.
Visit some old friends, discover some new. Come home to West Loop and Manhattan's West Side.
It was great to be able to sit down with the folks at Fidelity and talk about options. And not only to hear choices, but to get a little bit of advice and help in making good choices ourselves was something that we were just really unfamiliar with. And that kind of help is invaluable.
Fidelity Bank, we do business right here at home.
Doughboys Pizzeria, a family restaurant in North Topeka, serving fresh pizza with our signature sauce, award-winning wings, awesome appetizers, and desserts, with outdoor dining and entertainment. Call or order online at doughboys.pizza.
Do you have water damage from storms? Give Certified Fireplace and Chimney a call before the damage gets worse. We'll inspect your chimney inside and out. Then we'll make any necessary repairs. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Certified Fireplace and Chimney today.
Hey, I hope you didn't bet on the Cats last week, not because we don't have any trust in them, but they didn't play.
Yeah, that would be bad.
We do have two favorite teams this week, though.
Yeah, UCF is doing its Kansas tour, lost to K-State a week ago, and now KU is favored by 3 at home. K-State on the road for a Friday matchup, favored by 12.5 against OSU.
All right, thanks for watching K-Nation. Join us next Sunday and every Sunday.
Yeah, have a great night.
We're going to have this balance of depth being a strength, but we're going to have to get a lot of reps. We're going to have to play a lot.
There's not one area in this game. You know, we've got to be better in everything, and it's what it is, unfortunately.